Hey everyone, the Criterion Flash sale was this past week, and I got myself a stack of movies that I want to talk about. If you're not familiar with the Criterion Collection, it is one of the longest running boutique labels, maybe one of the first. It is a great collection of films from around the world, contemporary stuff, classic stuff. A movie doesn't have to be great to be in the Criterion Collection, but I would say they have pretty good taste. And every once in a while, they do a flash sale on their website where everything is 50% off MSRP. For me, that's when I buy everything. I buy it at 50% off because it happens often enough and I have the patience to wait. So that means that most of the DVDs are like $10 to $15, the Blu-rays are $20 to $25, and the 4Ks are $25 to $30. I got myself a stack of 9 this time, Blu-ray and 4K. I had a couple of $50 certificates. That's a pro tip. If you buy from Criterion.com, I think it's like every couple $100 or every $250 you spend, you get a $50 gift certificate back, which is pretty great. So I always hit the flash sales, and I had saved up 2 of those certificates. So I got these 9 movies in out of pocket. It cost me like $60, and it should have cost like 160, which was awesome. So let's kick it off. Here's what I got. First off, The Age of Innocence, Martin Scorsese. After watching After Hours, which is also in the collection, I want to see all of Scorsese's work because I know his big stuff, but I didn't know his lesser known stuff. This had Daniel Day-Lewis. It was a period piece. It sounded really interesting. I've never seen it, but it's got a 4K transfer, even though it's on Blu-ray. Scorsese always does a great job with his restorations, and it just sounded interesting. So if you guys have seen it, total blind buy for me. I don't know anything about it, but the cast and crew sold me. Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, Winona Ryder, Martin Scorsese, period piece, Gilded Age, New York, little romantic drama. Sounded like a pretty interesting movie. The next one I got was a little Japanese horror movie called Cure. I've had this one recommended to me many times, and I've seen a lot of Japanese horror, but I have not seen this one, so I was excited. I think this is a recent, spine number 1155, so it was fairly recent addition to the collection, but this is a Blu-ray disc. It does have a new 4K digital restoration on it. It's from 1997. I heard excellent things about it. So many of you recommended it. I knew I had to grab it, so let me know what you think about that one. A lot of blind buys in this list, I will say. Another blind buy here was Seconds, John Frankenheimer. I love the Manchurian Candidate, which I also have on the, I had it in the collection. Now I have the Kino Lorber 4K. But this sounded really interesting. The 1960s was an interesting time for science fiction. This is 1966. It honestly sounded like something that like David Cronenberg might do. It's like this guy undergoes a procedure to start a new life. It almost reminded me of like, some of the Possessor or Infinity Pool, or like it had some really cool concepts for 1966, and this one had been on my wish list for a while, but after I rewatched Manchurian Candidate, I was like, I just need to get that one. This was not a blind buy, but one I desperately needed in the collection. Love Denzel. He's still my favorite actor, I think. Malcolm X, one of his best roles. This is the 4K UHD release here from the Criterion Collection. It is loaded with special features. Long movie, 200 minutes, so that's 3 hours and 20 minutes, but Denzel's just perfect for this role. Spike Lee does a great job with the film. Really like the packaging too. Blind buy for me here, but this was a Netflix movie, and Criterion released it on 4K. So it's Okja, which is a Bong Joon-ho movie. He's the director of Parasite, South Korean director who also did Memories of Murder. This one intrigues me because I remember seeing a ton about it. I never watched it when it was on Netflix, but the cast, you've got Jake Gyllenhaal, you have Tilda Swinton, Paul Dano, Stephen Yeun, and then An Seo-hyun as Mija. I hope I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. But it's like about a super pig. Like it's a big pig that she's trying to save, I guess. I don't know. It just really intrigued me. A lot of people really like it. I think it was nominated for Best Foreign Feature. I heard so many things about it. I said, you know what? Why not? Plus, it's a Netflix movie, so you never know where that's going to end up on physical media again after this. Another one I haven't seen, but I know I need to, is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This is a fairly new release from Criterion. It's a 4K release. Beautiful artwork here, loaded with special features, all supervised by Del Toro. I love Guillermo del Toro's work. He has a ton of stuff in the Criterion Collection, and the practical effects and things that he does in his films are what really make me love his stuff so much. He's just a master of that. And if you haven't seen all of his movies, Devil's Backbone, Kronos, if you haven't seen even like Crimson Peak and things like that, like obviously Pan's Labyrinth, he's a genius. So I can't wait to see his take on Pinocchio. I think it's such a unique fairy tale. This is, I assume, not a Disney version. Pinocchio can actually get a little bit dark. So I'd love to see what Del Toro did with it. Next up, more Scorsese, Mean Streets. Had to get this on 4K. One of Scorsese's best, but not most talked about. Again, he does a lot of crime movies, right? People would probably say The Departed, or they would say Goodfellas. You know, they don't necessarily go to Mean Streets right away, but this is De Niro and Harvey Keitel, 1973, right after The Godfather came out. So also maybe why it might have been like overshadowed a bit, but it takes place in the 70s in New York. And I just rewatched Friends of Eddie Coyle from the Criterion Collection, 1973 Boston crime movie, and it reminded me how much I loved that, and I can't wait to rewatch Mean Streets in 4K. It's been quite a while since I've seen this one, and it's got me very excited after watching Eddie Coyle to see the New York crime, gritty kind of street crime of the 1970s. Now a little more horror here. I got Eyes Without a Face, which is an iconic horror film from France from 1960. Does some stuff that I think you'd probably be surprised for a horror movie from 1960, but I only know it from clips. I've never seen the whole thing. I've seen it on different clip shows, things like Shudder or Bravo's like 100 Scariest Movie Moments and other horror movie documentaries. So I know the scenes fairly well, but I've never actually seen the movie, and I swore I had this. I triple checked the shelf behind me. I was like, I know I have this, but I didn't. So huge gap in my horror movie history, needing to watch all these old great horror movies. This is a massive, massive gap for me, and I can't wait to sit down and watch it from start to finish. And finally, this is going to make one person very happy because this was recommended to me, A Matter of Life and Death. I got an Instagram message from one of our followers out there. He's been telling me I need to get this movie, and I decided, okay, this flash sale, I'll go get it because he convinced me it sounded like a pretty good film. Now, it's made by the same guys who made The Red Shoes. It's Technicolor, but it's also black and white. And the pitch he gave me was it's an RAF pilot, Royal Air Force. He crashes, encounters an American radio operator who he gave his dying wishes to, but then a messenger comes and tells him that, there was an error, that they're actually going to spare his life. He gets like this heavenly message, right? And now he has to mount a defense to convince them to let him stay on Earth. And so there's like this juxtaposition between like the color scenes and the Technicolor and the black and white, and it switches back and forth. That's as much as I know about it, but the way it was pitched to me sounded pretty fantastic, pretty interesting. It's from 1946. I love Technicolor. Never get me going wrong on those. Someone's going to be super happy out there. You know who you are. But yeah, if you've seen this one, let me know what you think. So those are my Criterion flash sale pickups. I think that brings my total Criterion collection now to, with those 9, at least a couple hundred movies in the Criterion collection. So I'm no Daisuke Beppu. Daisuke has every single Criterion release out there. I'm not that big of a Criterion collection guy. I do love their stuff. I obviously have a couple hundred of them, but I'm just slowly chipping away at each flash sale. Every time the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale comes along, picking up a handful more. This was one of the biggest pickups I've had. Usually I'll spend about $100-ish and get 5 or 6. So to get 9 was a pretty big haul for me. Find some space for them on the shelf and got to put them all in. But yeah, it brings me to like a couple hundred now in the Criterion collection, which is really cool. It's a great collection. So many great films, so much you can learn. Really like film school in a label. And yeah, if you've never given them a shot, if you want to get into the flash sales, make sure you sign up for their email list. That's how you'll find out about the flash sale as soon as you can. I try to post about it on social media as well. But if you're on their email list, you might get a little bonus. Like this time, they sent me an extra $10 gift certificate just for being somebody who buys a lot from Criterion. So I actually got $110 in gift certificate between the 250s and the one they sent me in the email. So saved a bunch of money on this sale, which was great. And buying from the direct, Stuff came quick, it's all shipped really nicely, and you get those rewards points. So I always recommend that. Barnes & Noble is also another great source, but some of the stuff with their membership hasn't been as great lately. So I've been going to Criterion for my purchases. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys picked up. If you bought anything from this flash sale in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe here for all the latest in movies, home entertainment, physical media, and my collection. And follow me on social media. Those links are in the description. And right here, you can scan the QR code with your phone, and that'll bring you to all my links as well. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Keep watching great movies, and I'll talk to you soon.